OMG, we have a brand new free and open source image generator, and this is blazing fast. And you can even run it with as low as 2 gigabytes of VRAM, or even just with a CPU. It's called Flux 2 Klein. And in this video, I'm going to test this head to head with the top image models out there so you can see how good this is. Plus, of course, I'm also going to show you step by step how to install it so you can use it for free and unlimited times offline on your computer. Let's jump right in. Black Forest Labs, the team behind Flux Klein, got crushed by Z-Image Turbo in the last round. But today, they just released Flux 2 Klein, which is a serious competitor. You can generate images in just seconds, even with just a consumer GPU. So here are some examples for your reference. Example 1. Put the person in image 1 into image 2. We are combining two images, a character plus a snowy landscape. The output places a white-haired sci-fi/fantasy woman in a snowy mountain ice desert scene with metallic wing-like elements. It's really good at generating these realistic photos. Here's another example, and it seems to handle, faces and skin and hands and fingers pretty well. Example 2. Put this character on the football field. The output becomes an action sports scene on a stadium field, with a player in purple gear lunging toward camera holding a ball. You can see we no longer get those plastic fake Flux vibes from previous generations of Flux models. This looks super realistic. It even has some motion blur and some imperfections with this photo. Let's look at another example where we change the first image to the oil painting style. The input is a photo of a person, and the output becomes an oil painting style portrait of a young woman with long hair beside a horse, with a coastal cliff background. Now, the awesome thing about Flux 2 Klein is not only is it an image generator, but it can also edit images just like Nano Banana. Let's edit this image with Flux Klein. Okay, so we feed it a close-up mouth shot, and we tell it, make it a strawberry. And Flux is like, okay. Now they've released two different variants of this. There's a 9 billion parameter model, which is of course larger and better quality, but it's going to take longer to run. Now this is under the Flux non-commercial license, so it's quite restrictive, but they've also released a 4 billion parameter variant, which is a lot faster. And this is under the Apache 2 license, which has very minimal restrictions. You can even use this for commercial purposes. And the really awesome thing about it, the distilled 4 billion parameter models, is that it only requires 8.4 gigabytes of VRAM to run, which is actually not true. There are already some quantized versions, which can even run with as low as 2 gigabytes of VRAM. Also note that for each variant, they released a distilled version, but also a base model. Now this base model is super important because this is like an undistilled foundation model, which is a lot more flexible, and you can fine-tune this and create LoRa's from it. Now just from my initial testing, I find that the quality of the 9B model is way better than the 4B model. So if you do have enough RAM, then definitely try to use the 9B version rather than the 4B version. Now, those are just some of their official demos, which might be cherry-picked. So here are some of my Flux 2 Klein versus Seedream image versus Z-Image turbo tests as well. The prompt is ancient pyramids with a giant Saturn suspended in the sky. For Seedream, it went futuristic. Z-Image created a realistic version, and well, Nano Banana Pro clearly used a different training set because the image is more animated and cinematic. Alright, so this is the same prompt across all models. A man in a burgundy suit with a panther, editorial, dramatic lighting. First up, Seedream. Honestly, this one nailed it. The suit, the panther, the lighting, it's basically exactly what we asked for. Then there's the Z model. This image looks like the panther was photoshopped in afterward. The tail especially looks wrong, and once you know, you know. Next is Nano Banana Pro. This one clearly locked onto the word editorial. It's very artsy, feels like it belongs in a magazine. And finally, Flux, using the 4 billion parameter model. The panther here looks real, like an actual animal, but the human skin is a bit too AI-ish. You can tell it's AI generated, even though the scene itself is realistic. Next, let's go over how you can actually install this and run it locally on your computer. Flux has a Hugging Face repo with the model information. Here it gives you all the instructions on how you can run this with raw code, but it's not as intuitive as if you ran this on a graphical interface. So what I'm going to show you instead is how you can run this in Promptus. Promptus is one of the most popular platforms for running open source image and video generators offline. In fact, if you haven't heard of Promptus, definitely see this video first for a full installation tutorial. Anyways, back to this video. I'm going to assume you already have Promptus installed. Speaking of AI tools, we just launched ComfyUI, where you can find popular ComfyUI workflows. You can click one button and automatically download them. This lets you create AI offline without having to connect node graphs. Visit our website, promptus.ai, to try ComfyUI and to easily create visual AI workflows. Now, the first thing we should do is update ComfyUI to the latest version. Note that I'm using the Promptus Windows app, which is recommended because it keeps everything up to date. You can store all your assets to your collection, and you publish to the web and create offline. Anyways, I'm going to just drag and drop the workflow on the canvas. In the description below, I'm going to link to this workflow, and all you need to do is save the JSON file, and then afterwards you can just drag and drop this JSON file onto Promptus. And voila, it should automatically have this workflow pre-built for me. Note that here that the workflow I have is the text to image workflows. This is the distilled model, which will run faster than the full model. I also have the image to edit workflow. For the first option over here, this only takes in one input image for you to edit, whereas for the second option, you can input two reference images. So it's really straightforward. Here is where we upload an image that we want to edit. So for example, let me upload this image, and then let's write, make the person in the first image sit on the throne in the second image. And that's pretty much it. All right, so this sums up how you can use Flux to Klein. Even if you have like only 2 gigabytes of VRAM and a consumer GPU, you can create and edit AI images. This is a serious competitor to Z Image Turbo. Let me know in the comments what you think of this and actually which image model you prefer. What are some of the most impressive things you were able to generate from Flux to Klein? And as before, if you run into any errors during the installation, you're welcome to paste the error message in the comments below, and we'll try to help you troubleshoot as much as possible. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. So to really stay up to date with all Promptus updates and everything new that's going on in AI, be sure to subscribe to the Promptus free weekly newsletter. The link to that will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.